Welcome to my DVD collection, part 2. I feel like I need to mention, I've been thinking about filming another one of these videos, and when I decided today was the day I wanted to do it, I did not wear the same shirt that I wore in the last video on purpose. It just happened like that. I mentioned in the first DVD collection video that I wanted to do another one of these. I'm not sure how many I'll do. I don't know if I'll do one every couple years. For this one, I'm gonna go over the ones that I mentioned in my last video. I'm not gonna talk about them too much, or I'm gonna try not to talk about them too much because I've already talked about them in the last video. If I do more of these videos, I think I'll just skip over them and only talk about new ones. But for this one, I'm gonna go through even ones that I mentioned in the last video. These are in alphabetical order. Last time I organized them in just whatever way. I didn't care. This time they are in alphabetical order, so the order is, there's like a purpose to the order now. I've obviously moved house since then, so, you know, they're different now. But yeah. Oh, and also, some of the movies that I mentioned were in my last video are not in my collection anymore. Either because I don't know where they are, they disappeared into thin air, or I moved them into the, family collection, not my specific collection. Starting with this Criterion collection of 12 Angry Men Blu-ray special edition. It's, as you can see, I haven't taken it out of the plastic yet. I have seen 12 Angry Men, but I haven't rewatched it, clearly. But when I did watch it, one of the best films ever made, probably. Fantastic performances, dialogue, story, everything like that. The 13th Warrior. This was a gift to me, and I think the person who gave me this bought it at like a library, giving away free stuff, I think, because I'm realizing now it has somebody's address on it, and that's why I was covering it, because I don't know who that person. Anyway, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but Antonio Banderas, he's one of my favorite actors, so I keep it in this collection. Next we have 84 Charing Cross Road. I mentioned in the last video that it was my favorite movie, and it still is my favorite movie. I would still consider it my favorite movie of all time. Wait. Right there. Nope. There we go. That's a 84 Charing Cross Road poster. Addams Family and Addams Family Values. I can't remember if I had seen these films when I mentioned them in my video, but very good, very fun films. I haven't seen the show Wednesday. I don't really watch many TV shows, but I don't know. I've been told I would like it. I also haven't seen the original Addams Family show. I've just seen these movies, but they're good. I like them. Airplane. This is also still in the plastic, but that's because I got it pretty recently. I've recently discovered Leslie Nielsen. And I've, been watching a lot of his movies. He's kind of become one of my favorite actors now. And, this is not only probably his most famous film, but, it's one of his best films. And, that's why I wanted to get it. Beowulf. The director's cut. Wow! Black Christmas. Yes, this is a, Blu-ray. This has been one of my favorite horror movies. Not just one of my favorite horror movies, but also one of my favorite just films in general for a while now. It's got Blu-ray and Blu-ray special features. See right there. 4K Ultra HD feature film, and also that. We've got 3 discs in here. This was a must-buy when I saw it. I watch it usually every December, but I also watch it throughout the year too, because it's just one of my favorite movies, like I said. Blazing Saddles. Mel Brooks is one of my favorite directors. Gene Wilder's my favorite actor, probably. I'm pretty sure I said all that in the last video too, but yeah. I'm pretty sure Turner Classic Movies is gonna be showing this in theaters this year. I need to go to that. Bottle Rocket. This is Wes Anderson's first film. It's not my favorite Wes Anderson film. I'm a pretty big fan of his work, but I saw this. I mean, it's a good film. It's very fun. I think it's in terms of directorial debuts, It's pretty good. I've also seen the short film that he did before this, and that's also very good. But yeah, I highly recommend this. I mean, like, it doesn't really have the Wes Anderson isms that you would expect from one of his movies, but I still think it's good. Bram Stoker's Dracula, another Anthony Hopkins movie. I don't know. I've been thinking of rewatching this. I don't know when I'll do that, but, you know, this past year and last year, I've gotten to be more of a fan of, you know, Dracula adaptions than I was before. I bought the book. I haven't read it yet, but I bought it. Okay, I'll get there one day. A Bridge Too Far, very good movie. With like just so many of my favorite actors. Anthony Hopkins, Sean Connery, Dirk Bogarde, Michael Caine. So yeah, very good film. The Changeling, also one of my favorite horror movies and films in general. George C. Scott is, like, I try not to be objective about actors, but I'd say he's like one of the best American actors we've ever had. And I'd say this is probably, he gives probably his best performance in this. Patton, Eat Your Heart Out. But, you know, this is where it's at. More on George C. Scott. This is a VHS tape of his version of A Christmas Carol. That is very good. I got this at, like, a Goodwill. Okay. I don't have a VHS player in this house, but I know someone who does have one. So it is possible for me to play this. And maybe this Christmas I will. Okay, maybe I'll go get that VHS player and watch it. Citizen Kane. It's Citizen Kane. You don't need me to tell you Citizen Kane is a good movie. It's Citizen Kane. Everybody knows that, so yeah. Clue. I just rewatched this recently. And yeah, it's still one of my favorite films of all time. Coraline. There are a lot of movies that I liked when I was younger that I, you know, look back now and I think, I mean, I see the charm there and I still enjoy it, but I can admit, you know, they're not as good as I remember them being. This is not an example of that. This is still, it is such an amazing movie. You know, I saw this, they had a theatrical release of this recently, or not recently, I guess that was last year, but I went to that and it was beautiful, man. The score in surround sound was incredible. Creepshow. Very fun horror movie with, you know, it's such an interesting concept to have all these different stories in one movie, like in chapters, and Leslie Nielsen is in the best one. Is in what is it called? Something to Tide You Over? Is that what it's called? I can't find it on here. There he is. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. This is my yearly St. Patrick's Day watch. This and another film called The Love She Sought, which is also one of my favorite movies, but I don't think I own it. Yeah. You know, I used to just watch this on Disney Plus, but I don't have that anymore, so yeah. This comes in handy. The Deer Hunter. I've seen this. I've seen this. The Deer Hunter. I've seen this once, and I have not built up the courage to watch it again because, I mean, it's a fantastic movie, but it's so sad. It's so depressing. So I know I will one day. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't think I wanted to watch it again, but yeah. Desperate Hours. A movie nobody knows about or cares about, starring Mickey Rourke and Anthony Hopkins. And as I said in the last video, it's broken in here. It won't, the disc won't stay in. It's loose in there. It's probably really scratched up, but I don't care. I don't care. Dog Day Afternoon. I mean, if you want to talk about the greatest American actors, Al Pacino is definitely up there. I mean, I think he's better than Robert De Niro, but that's a discussion for another day. But yeah, one of his best films and one of his best performances, that's for sure. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Another George C. Scott movie. I mean, like, it's such a good comedy. Another one of my favorite movies. and just an absolutely insane performance from Peter Sellers, because he plays like 3 different people in this. So yeah, this is like such a good movie. The Elephant Man, another Anthony Hopkins movie. This I'd put in my top 5 movies of all time. I think it's that good. It's a very well-known film, but I feel like it's one that's not really talked about as much as I think it deserves to be talked about. Even though Anthony Hopkins has said he thought the movie was dull. Who cares what he thinks? Am I right? Like, one of the best films ever made, and like I said, one of my favorites too. El Golfo, the Spanish singer Rafael, who's one of my favorite singers. This is his best movie. The Evil Dead, another Sam Raimi, another legendary horror director. I will admit that I prefer The Evil Dead 2. I think it's a better movie, but I saw this at the flea market and I just couldn't pass it up. The Exorcist. I mean, it's a common opinion. Everybody says that this is one of the best horror movies ever made, but it is true. Well, I guess it's either said that it's one of the best or that it's really boring, but I am of the opinion that it's one of the best. The Father, The First Final Destination, Finding Forrester, Rambo: First Blood. I haven't seen many Sylvester Stallone movies, but like a great performance from him in this, and it's such a heartbreaking movie. I haven't seen the sequels. I mean, I'm sure they're fun, but I didn't feel the need to watch them after I watched this. So, Fracture, another Anthony Hopkins one. I mean, Ryan Gosling is also in this, so maybe this should have like spiked in popularity after Barbie came out and a bunch of people were becoming Ryan Gosling fans, but it didn't happen. They just don't get it. Galaxy Quest. I mean, I liked this film already because I was an Alan Rickman fan and because it's a good movie, but now that I've become such a big like fan of Star Trek, I'm even more of a fan of this movie. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. This is also a pretty recent buy because I just recently rewatched the first Ghostbusters and the second Ghostbusters, and also, you know, watched all of the sequels. But these are just such classics, and they capture this energy that, as many have said, the later Ghostbusters films were so unable to recreate, and it's just, these are just so fun to watch, and I love everything about both of them. Another VHS of Gladiator. Russell Crowe has also become one of my favorite actors, and while I don't think this is his best performance or his best movie at all, it's still good, and it's, you know, what he's most known for. So, The Godfather. As with Citizen Kane, you don't need me to sit here and tell you that The Godfather is good. Everybody knows that already. But I guess one controversial thing that I can say is that I only have the first one because I don't think the second one's better. I think the first one is the best of the 3, and it's certainly not the third one. It is certainly not The Godfather Part 3. A Good Year. Another Ridley Scott, Russell Crowe collaboration. This one's kind of underrated. I mean, it's like a cute rom-com. I mean, it's kind of a comedy, but like it's a cute romance movie. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's in the title, guys. Come on. Good Will Hunting. Another movie that not only that I bought recently, but that is one of my favorite movies of all time. This has been one of my favorite movies forever. I've like considered this a favorite since I was like 12 years old or something. Like it like changed my life. Yeah. Guilty Conscience. I bought this because I saw Anthony Hopkins and immediately put it in my cart. I mean, it's not great. It's like a TV movie. Most of the movie he's talking to himself, but I mean like physically there's 2 of him and they're having a conversation and he's considering killing his wife. And because he has a mistress and whatever. I mean, I thought it was good when I watched it, but it's nothing like notable. Halloween and Halloween Kills. I still don't have any of the other Halloween films. I mean, I wouldn't want to buy like the whole collection because there's a lot of Halloween films that I don't want to own. But I would like to own like Halloween 2 and 3 and the first Halloween reboot. And I mean, Halloween 4 is not that bad. yeah, I mean, like, it's also one of my favorite horror movies. That goes without saying. Hearts in Atlantis. The Hunt for Red October. I mean, I'm sure I said it in the last video. Sean Connery, also one of my favorite actors. Let's take a drink every time I say that in this video. I don't know why I'm opening it right now, but I feel like doing that. Oh man, it's broken. Maybe that's why I felt like opening it. Something was telling me, something in the universe was telling me to check on this. Man, that sucks. What did I do? I mean, the special collector's edition is still connected to the rest of the plastic, but this part fell out. That sucks. I guess I'll have to be careful. And the first John Wick. I watched all the John Wick movies last year in preparation for John Wick 4. John Wick 4. I'd still consider this the best of all of them, but yeah. Joker, Knives Out. I cannot wait for part 3. I mean, it's the like part 3 of a Knives Out story. I cannot wait. Last Run. Great George C. Scott performance in movie. Another one of my favorite movies. Lawrence of Arabia. I hadn't watched this when I showed this in the last video, but I have since seen it, and man, like, there are not many films that are more visually gorgeous than this one. And I think like a couple days ago, Turner Classic Movies announced that they'd also be doing a release of this, so that's very exciting. I can't wait for that. Lincoln, The Mangler. I mean, I haven't seen many Robert Englund movies that aren't like A Nightmare on Elm Street related. Besides this, and it's not very good. I mean, it's I don't know what else to say about it. Murder on the Orient Express. I mean, it's fine. I mean, like, it's a classic film. It's a famous film. But last time I watched it, I didn't really think it was all that. A Nightmare Before Christmas. Night Passage. Can't get far. Oppenheimer. This means nothing at all. Don't come for me, but you will not see Barbie in this collection. I don't want to say too much because I feel like I'm going to sound like such a loser. But, you know, probably one of the best movies ever made. Okay, that's all I'll say. The Outsiders. The Phantom of the Opera. Da 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 da. You know, I saw this live last year, at the end of last year. I went to London and I saw this live. You know, that was cool. I mean, it's not my favorite musical ever. I also saw Les Mis, and that was much better. But I don't have the Les Mis movie. Russell Crowe is one of my favorite actors, but I won't go that far. Pig. Certified Fresh, apparently. If that means anything at all to anybody. I mean, like I said in the last one, it's just such a good movie. It's such a good movie. Nick Cage is also one of my favorite actors. Like I said, take a shot right now. Platoon. I mean, like, if you are ever in the mood to just like absolutely ruin your day and be depressed, this is the movie. This is the movie for you. The Pope's Exorcist. I said I won't go as far as to buy a copy of the Les Mis movie, but this I'm buying. This I am buying. Haters will say that this is a bad movie, and haters are incorrect. The Producers, another movie that's in like my top 10. Hilarious, fantastic film. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I saw this when it came out in theaters. Man, it's such a good movie. Like, I'm not too ashamed to have kids films in my collection, because this is just so good. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's amazing. Rear Window. I mean, Alfred Hitchcock. I've watched quite a few of his films, and this is not my favorite Hitchcock. Do I have it? I do have my favorite Hitchcock. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, it's still good. Jimmy Stewart is just such a good actor. He's probably one of my favorite old Hollywood actors. Red Dragon. I mean, it's no Silence of the Lambs, but I think this is such a good movie. And I'm actually reading the book of this currently. I've been reading it for like a year, but I'll get there eventually. Like I said, The Reluctant Astronaut, another Leslie Nielsen movie. I mean, like, Don Knotts, I don't know. I don't really know much about him, but it's whatever. It's whatever, but I wanted to get it because I wanted to buy a Leslie Nielsen movie. Reservoir Dogs. I mean, it's not my favorite Tarantino, but it's still good. I don't know what it is about me that makes me have the taste of like a dude bro. But like, yeah. And this is the favorite Hitchcock that I was referring to, Rope. It's my favorite Hitchcock and one of my favorite movies also. It's amazing. I love this movie so much. We've gotten to the Saw movies. Here we have Saw 1 and Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 6, and Saw X, Saw 10, that came out last year. This movie, I love this movie so much, man. I saw this in theaters 3 times when it came out. I've never been so excited for a movie release than I was for Saw X, man. Like, yeah. I don't care if you don't like Saw movies. This is great. Scent of a Woman. I mean, I mentioned Al Pacino and A Dog Day Afternoon being one of his best movies, but this is, in my opinion, his best movie. And you know, I'm right in saying that because it's the only movie he won an Oscar for, so I have that to back me up. Scream. I don't have all the Scream movies. I just have this one. I mean, it's the best one, but there's other Scream movies that I like. But yeah, it's a great franchise, but I wouldn't consider it my favorite horror franchise. Kind of overrated. Who said that? The Serpent and the Rainbow? The Silence of the Lambs. Criterion release. I said in the last one that I really wanted a physical copy of this. Actually, though, I can't watch this. This is 4K, and I don't have a 4K player, so. But I have it. The Social Network. There, it says it right there. I still haven't seen it, but you know, it's a pretty famous movie, so I thought I'd keep it in my collection. Solace, another Anthony Hopkins movie. I mean, I liked it when I watched it. Somebody asked me, I don't know when that was, like last year. They were like, "Oh, you like Anthony Hopkins, don't you? What did you think of this movie? I watched it last night. And I thought it was really weird." I mean, yeah, I think it's really weird, but that's why I liked it. That's what's. I'm just built different. Spaceballs. Spy Kids 1 and 3. I rewatched these recently, and yeah, they're still really good movies. Nobody can change my mind on that. Take the Lead, another Antonio Banderas movie. Terminator 3. I still haven't seen this. I had it, I showed it in the last video. I've seen Terminator 1 and 2, but I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll watch it at some point because like I have it, so I might as well. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, another one of my favorite horror movies. There Will Be Blood. I haven't seen this yet. I mean, like I mean to, but I just like had to buy this because it was like, how much was it? $4. And look at this thing. It's gorgeous. To Catch a Thief. I also haven't seen this. It's Hitchcock. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen this, but I thought it was another gift. The Truman Show. I think I had seen this in like at the time of filming the last video, but I rewatched it last year and I was like completely blown away by it. I mean, like I pretty much had seen it with different eyes because when I first watched it, I don't remember how old it was, but the second time I watched it, I was like in film school already. So yeah, it's such a good movie. Talking about movies that are so good, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Hello. Oh, look, I got it at Walmart. I mean, like, I think this movie's good. I wouldn't buy it if I didn't think it was good, but, you know what? I don't know what. I don't know. It's kind of, the movie's become a meme, but I think it's good. I think it's such a fun movie, so. The Untouchables, The Virtuoso, this Lohengrin performance. I love opera. I don't know if that was brought up at any point. I mean, I've uploaded opera stuff on this channel before, but yeah, I love opera, and Piotr Beczała is one of my favorite opera singers. Probably, I mean, my favorite tenor, I suppose. So, yeah, I have this. I mean, it's pretty good, Lohengrin. Lohengrin, it's not my favorite opera. I mean, it's beautiful, like, musically, but it's kind of long and boring. But anyway, it's good. It's got Piotr Beczała and Anna Netrebko. Like, that's such a insane duo. So, yeah. West Side Story, another one of my favorite movies. Favorite musicals. I guess I wouldn't consider it my favorite musical. That would probably go to something else that's in my collection, but it's one of them for sure. Willy's Wonderland. Okay, I won't sit here and act like this movie's good, but it's a very enjoyable film for me, and like I've made clear, I really like Nick Cage, man. So yeah, that's why I have this. This is what I was referring to. I probably consider Willy Wonka my favorite musical. For nostalgic reasons, for Gene Wilder reasons, for reasons that are just that the music's really good and that it's a really, really good movie. The Witch, another one of my favorite horror movies. I guess I'd consider it the best Robert Eggers films. I mean, I've seen The Lighthouse, and that was fantastic, but I haven't seen The Northman, so I guess I can't really say. But yeah, very good. Young Frankenstein, another great Gene Wilder movie, classic comedy. Him and Mel Brooks, they're so incredible together. First collection is this thing that has all of Jordan Peele's movies. But yeah, all of these are good. I'd mentioned the Sean Connery Bond collection in the last video. This is volume 2, so this has Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and Diamonds Are Forever. I bought part 2 because at the time those were my favorite Connery Bond films. That is not the case anymore. Goldfinger and Dr. No are, I guess, his best films. I don't know why I liked You Only Live Twice so much. It's so terrible. Don't ask me why I liked it so much at the time. But I have this. But since then, I've also bought the Brosnan collection because GoldenEye and The World's Not Enough are like in my top 10 Bond films probably. And I also have the Roger Moore collection. I like all of the ones on here. This is volume 2? Yeah, this is volume 2. I don't like a lot of Roger Moore's Bond films. I love him. I think he's great, but his films are pretty bad. But all of the ones on here I enjoy. They're not all good, I guess, but they're all enjoyable to me. For Your Eyes Only and A View to a Kill I think are great, but Octopussy and Moonraker, I mean, they're just really, really fun. They're really camp, so that's why I've got this. The Gambler collection, I've actually, I mean, I listened to Kenny Rogers' music when I made the first video, but I've been listening to his music more recently, so I might actually watch these now. I mentioned Star Trek earlier, so yeah, I have all of the original movies. I don't know, they're all pretty good. They're all good. I still haven't finished the Star Trek show, I'll be honest. I'm so terrible at watching TV shows, but I'm trying. But yeah, I love all of these movies. I have the Dracula collection. The reason I got this is because it includes the Spanish Dracula that I couldn't find anywhere. So I bought this so I could watch it. But I still haven't watched a lot of the ones on here. I've seen the original Dracula, Spanish Dracula. I've seen Dracula's Daughter, but I haven't watched the other ones on here. The first 3 Jurassic Park films, I don't need to buy. The rest of them, I mean, they're not, look, some of them are not that bad, but I don't want to buy them. The Final Destination collection. 9 of the Saw films. I bought this when there was no Saw 10, so it says 9 film collection, but yeah. The Friday the 13th collection, a Nightmare on Elm Street collection, and the Chucky collection that I mentioned in the last videos. I've actually been using this recently because I just decided the other day to rewatch all the Chucky movies. And the last thing that I have is all of Star Trek, the original series, and Police Squad. This is such a good TV show, man. Like I said, I don't watch very many TV shows, but it's only 6 episodes, so this was very easy for me, and it's so good and funny, and I love it. So, obviously those last 2 aren't movies, and a lot of these, I call this a DVD collection. A lot of these are Blu-rays and VHS tapes or whatever. So, but anyway, yeah, that was part 2 of my collection. Like I said, I might do more of these in the future because, my collection's gonna grow. But yeah, that's what I have now. That'll be all. Thank you.